Howdy folks, welcome to episode 18. Today we're going to see if we can get a bunch of this stuff down there. I think we need to get the beams. Let's get moving while I'm talking, before I start talking anyway. And let's see if how are we doing on fuel? I think we're out of, you know what? Here, let's do this too. Do this too while we're, wow, that's really loud. As I yell over the... As I yell, did it? Come on, you can do it. There we go. All right. Why was it showing 32 on the interface? But anyway, yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's get back in the vehicle. All right. See, that's because it's Fahrenheit. That's why it was showing 32. It's funny, it shows Fahrenheit in there and then Celsius on the inside. Maybe that's why I was getting mixed up on those. Okay, so anyway, I came back here, I went into the save editor and I fixed our lumber beam mix up there. So, looks like that is going, and I swear somebody mentioned being able to load using the spacebar or something like that, being able to load without getting out of the train. I'll have to check that out and see if I can get that to work. Is it? Okay, good. We're back up to full pressure now and everything. So go like this. We'll get this thing moving. How close are we to this junction here? Oh, we're on the straight part of the junction, so that's not a problem. All right, and then we're going to come around this corner and we're going to go this way. Now we do have logs. I think what we'll do maybe is drop off the log cars here and then come around. Let's see if, is this slowing down again? Yeah, it is. There we go. I mean, we're loaded up really heavy, so, you know, that's not a surprise there. I'm gonna turn down the volume on this because, there we go, it was coming out my headphones really loudly instead of coming out of the whatchamacallits. There we go, that's much better. Alright, and then we're gonna actually be coming around this corner, aren't we? So we do need to start going back to normal here. Alright. But yeah, we're gonna get the what is it called? Loaded up. What's that called? The thingy, you know. Alright. The ironworks? But anyway, yeah, we'll get our tools. So we gotta find our box cars. We gotta locate our box cars now and figure out where those are gonna go. There we go. Let's see if we can drop a little bit of speed here, because this is kind of messy coming through here. There we go. We just kind of want to take our time going through here. And what are those logs? Those are the ones that take logs. Okay. So yeah, we could load up logs on those and leave them on here. Is there another engine around here that we could use to shunt those over? I don't think there really is there? Okay, so you know what we'll do is we'll put logs on them going the other way when we're coming back through. Because this is, yeah. We'll wait till we're unloaded, then we'll put logs on them, and then we'll shunt them back onto here. How's that sound? Sound good to you? Good. Everybody got that? I hope it's a long ceremony, because it's going to be a short honeymoon. Alright. We'll get our... Whoops. Let's make sure we have our switches set here. We are going off this way. We're coming through. And we're going to go around. Okay, cool. And then we just need to drop off the lumber. Do we not have any of that? Huh. Okay, yeah, the lumber and the coal. Okay. We do need to get more of the rails. But we'll drop off the lumber first. The lumber and coal first. Then we'll get our rails. Which will lead us to the Grail. Alright. Why does it seem like this is way longer than I remember it being? I guess it isn't. Okay. See if we can get a little bit more speed going here. There we go. And we are going to want to slow down for the corner here. So do that. Drop a little bit of regulator. We're going to let it slow down to 15. If we can. It doesn't want to, does it? There we go. Okay. There we go. I just do not want it pushing too hard around the corners. I don't even think I need to explain why. Anybody who's watched the last couple episodes will know exactly why. Okay. And we're going to need to give it a little bit more juice here. Cool. Okay, now we can speed up a little bit more. There we go. About 20. This corner is relatively smooth. There we are. Alright, so after that, yeah, we'll stop. We'll stop and, well, we'll at least stop and drop off the log cars. I'm not sure that I want to load them again. Yeah, we can load them. We can try loading them and see if we can get that to happen. Okay, and which side of this are we coming around? I don't remember which side of this we load from and which side is the output. It doesn't really show you on the map, it just shows you that it exists. I love this though, this little thing. That's really cool. Alright, there's our first thing. Okay, that's our coal. I don't want to go nuts on the brakes. There we go. Alright, so we can go like, whoops, this, and unload. And unload. Do we want to unload all of the coal here? 50? Because I don't remember how many of the pipes and stuff we need. Let's unload 30 for now. And because that's a whole lot of coal. And I think there's a couple more things that we want to drop off coal at, like the smelter, the gold smelter or something like that. I know there's another place we need coal. I don't want to drop it all off. I don't want to use all of our coal in one spot. The lumber we can do, if need be. There we go. A little bit more. So I think we can even get 2 of these out at a time here. Yeah, we'll look at the map before we take off, before we go too far here. We'll take a look at the map. Whoa, no, 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 no. Wrong thing. Oh, man, really? Did I do that? I totally did that. I earned that one. Speed up, slow down. Alright. Oh, now I can't get to that one. Okay. Alright, let's go like this. This car is bad news in the middle. It's not as... Which makes sense. I mean, you know. I can't criticize him for that. Is that gonna... Yeah, that's gonna come off on here. Okay. There we go. Okay. And this... Alright. That's gonna give us 12 of those. Okay, so we just need to move this forward a little bit. And then we can re-rail things. See, this is... That even looks dangerous, doesn't it? Let's see. Kind of surprised we haven't hit anything with that. It sure looks like it's hitting it, doesn't it? Did it not look like that? Or yeah, it did look like it was hitting it. But that's just another obstacle. All right, so let's go like this. Let's go re-rail this thing. And then re-rail this thing. And then we're going to turn off the brakes. And this one, where's the brake on this one? I remember there was a tricky... Oh, that's right, it's sideways. I just knew it was tricky, I didn't remember where it was. Okay. As Run DMC would tell you, right? Okay. Let's go like this. And let's go... There we go. All right. And I know we definitely want more than 12 lumber here. Definitely want that. Okay. Unload. Okay. So, we're going to go this way again. There we are. All right, I'm going to keep my hand off of the the wrong key. Okay. Much better. And now we should be able to unload this as we go past. There we go. Alright, that's 24. Are those rails that we need? Raw iron, okay. And let's bring these up. I know we're going to need the pipes. It's not the boxes. It's not the tools that are the big bottleneck on this. It's the pipes. The pipes are the thing that you really need a ton of. There we go, 5%. That should get us moving slowly enough. We should be able to unload this as we go past. There we go. Can we go down a... Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to... It just feels like it's going too fast. I know it isn't, but... Alright. 24. I can always cheat them back on, can't I? It's not like they fell into a black hole, you know? Alright. Okay, so... 28, 29, 30, and then this one is the last one. And then we're going to come all the way around, which is going to be interesting too. That's going to be its own adventure. Okay. And then we want to... Do we want to come all the way around and then back out? Because this isn't going to help us, is it? We can't really even turn around here, can we? I don't think. No, because we're still going to have to come out of this backwards. Okay. So we're going to come to a slow, very slowly. There we go. We're very slowly going to start pushing back this way. There we go. Because these ones are going to be the ones that are going to pop out, if anything does. And we'll bring it up to like 10%. There. So if you're while you're dragging on this, it doesn't change. So if you do this kind of thing, it's still at 9% this whole time. Just an FYI. In case anybody's worried about that. See, I don't think the stakes are... Yeah, see, the stakes are not solid on there. The hitbox doesn't go through the stakes. It just goes through the rectangles there. Okay. Alright, so we're going to come back out here, and once we get on the thing... See, we're still not going to be able to unload the logs on there, are we? There's not really a way for us to unload the logs, is there? The logging cars. Oh, if we come back this way, we can unload them here. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll come back this way and we'll go there. Okay, cool. Because that'll get those out of there. Alright, now that we're on a straight line here, we can start pushing more. There we go. We'll keep it at a dull roar here. There we are. Alright, let's go down to this end. We're going to go down to this end and make sure that we're not flying off the track. There we go. Okay. And that corner is kind of iffy because they have it's such a long segment that it has the little round thingies. So what we'll do is we'll come up this way. I think we'll even load the logs on here, and then we'll bring them back here and stick them on the siding. This is how we're going to manage that. I think that'll be a good way to do it. Alright, we're coming up on a junction here, so we'll... And... Alright, we're going to let this coast do its thing. Bring it up to 5%. We get some friction on the corner, so we do want to bring it around. Wow, 752, that's some serious Oh, that's the fire. I'm thinking yeah, the water is still pretty superheated. So we're going to bring this past... that. Yeah, actually, we're going to bring this all the way up to the other thing and load the logs on it first before we set it aside. So we'll just do that. Okay. There we go. Nice. All right. So let's see. The plan is doing the logs, and then because I know we're going to need more logs at the sawmill. Is why I'm doing this. I know we're going to need more logs at the sawmill to get all this lumber, because we're going to need more lumber somewhere among the gold stuff. So we'll bring these back. And I think the ironworks is going to need the beams. Because the ironworks uses raw iron and cordwood. Is that what they're out of? Is the cordwood? Let's see, we're going to let this coast. We're going to look at the map here for a minute. The ironworks. Yeah, the ironworks actually needs both, doesn't it? Okay. Okay. But the raw iron, I think you only get 3 per. So we're definitely going to need to bring a bunch of raw iron. We'll use a bunch of those cars. Would we have 6 of them? Does that use the coal, cordwood, raw iron, and what was the other thing it uses? I don't know. We'll look in a second. Because, yeah, I think we're going to have to trade these logs for that. All right. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, so supposedly you're supposed to be able to... Oh, you can. That's awesome. So it doesn't say anything about that anywhere on the screen, does it? It just says unload, but it doesn't say space load, does it? That's cool. Okay, so, and it doesn't tell you, no, you can't load, because you're not lined up either. It doesn't tell you that. Huh, interesting. Okay, so that's going to put 6 of them on there, right? Yeah, it's just going to put 6. Okay. Is this going to get us moving? Come on, you can do it. There we go. And there we go. And then we're going to go like this and get this one loading. There we go. Let's see if it'll load it. So we don't have to move forward again. Yay. Okay. So then we're going to do, yeah. Oh, that's cool. All right, I like that, especially on this long train. I mean, that makes a big difference. Give it a little burst of 12 here for a second. See if we can catch it coming down the chain. There it is. It barely moved. Okay. Not enough. This is definitely like when you're flying the big planes and you gotta plan out the... Here. We're just gonna hit the spacebar until it starts. That's actually kind of cool because it gives you an indication of where the end of the thing is. But yeah, it's like when you're flying a huge airliner like the 747s and stuff, you got to be way ahead of them. Your control inputs. It's not like when you're in a car and you turn the steering wheel and you're immediately turning. Well, and even a car is slower than like a bike, you know. The bigger the vehicle, the longer it takes. So anybody that's driven more than one size of vehicle knows exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's the same kind of thing where it's like, well, and especially on the big planes, you've got the engines have to spool up too. All right, there we go. So like, you know, on a car, when you stomp on the gas pedal, it's not like it instantly, well, if you've only ever driven an EV, maybe, but it's not like the power instantly happens as your foot is on the, changes on the thing. All right, let's see if we can, there we go. Well, that kind of sucks. All right. Totally can't see where we're going. Is it going to do it? There it goes. Okay, cool. Beautiful. All right. Get one more of these. I'm really tempted to leave these on the other track. Tempted to leave these up here. Well, we could come through here and leave them down here too as a siding. But then we come back off and we have to back up to that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave them on this line here. Okay. There we go. Let's go generator. There we go. All right. Now that the lights, yeah. Now that it's daylight anyway. Yeah, we definitely want to get those off of the very end. You don't want the super heavy stuff with a bunch of light cars in between. All right. We're going to go back this way. We can turn off the generator. That's fine. That's totally a fine speed. That's what we'll do, is we'll come back all the way back past this, and then when our engine is past this, then we'll stop. I do like that effect. That was a really good effect on that when we pulled the whistle. Yeah, that's a really nice effect. He did a pretty good job with that. Okay. Yeah, because if we bring that back, then we can go up there with the... And I think the cordwood cars are the other thing here. While we're backing up there. It's only cordwood and iron. It's nothing else. Okay. And do we have iron at the iron mine? We have 72. Okay, so we can pick up iron at the iron mine if we need to also. I don't remember how much iron it uses for that. Okay. It makes me wonder what other controls we've got where it's like, can you switch to the other car? Can you do this and then set the brakes on it? You know? With another key combination. Alright. There we go. And we're going to gently brake. Gently, gently, gently. Gently down the stream. Okay. We're going to go up here. And we're going to set that brake. There we go. Okay, cool. Open the coupler. It's the coupler. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's go like this. What, you don't recognize my David Putty impersonation? Did we get it? We got it. Alright. Get it? Got it? Good. Now we totally don't have enough room to come back with the cordwood cars. And, right? And then get past that, and then, yeah, do all that stuff. Okay. Probably want to slow down just a little bit here. There we go. Almost want to go up to the iron mine and do that. You know what? We probably should do that because we have the iron cars on us. We might as well stop by the iron mine on the way instead of doing the other thing, right? Let's do that. So we'll come back here. Okay, and we're past the seam now. Alright, so let's go like this. We're going to flip this switch. Let's make sure that we have everything that we need. We're going to go through that. Let's make sure these are set. That's set for the iron ore mine. See, they need beams and lumber. But we're not going to drop off beams and lumber at that. Okay. Because see, then we're going to go there on the way there anyway. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, because we haven't been up this for a long time. So let's do that. Alright. And we definitely want to use full power on this, just because of this hill. We'll see what we do with this hill. Yeah, we should be able to grab 30 irons. I don't think you can do the auto load with the iron, but we'll check it out and see if maybe if it's possible for that. We missed a tree there, didn't we? No, it's not tall enough. Okay, it's not even close to tall enough. All right. We have come... I'm sitting there thinking, we have come up this track, right? We have verified that this is safe to go full speed over and you're not picking up cars from all the way down there. All right. Let's turn on our generator. See how this looks with the whistle. It should be super echoey. Man, that is so claustrophobically small, isn't it? There we go. It's such a tiny little tunnel. A tiny tunnel. They probably could have made it a little bit bigger. I don't know that they would make a tunnel that small in the mountain. I know they'd want to make it as small as they can get away with, right? Okay. And then this is going to be downhill once we get out of this tunnel, isn't it? We're going to start going downhill. So we do need to be careful about how fast we're going here. This is kind of a corner here, too. There we go. I do not remember what this track looked like, so... Let's see what we've got going on here. Come out of here cautiously. We're going to sneak out and stick our head out and look both ways before we come out. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this does do a downhill. Okay. Let's see what kind of brakes we need to... Especially once we get all of the train on this part, it's going to start cruising. Can you imagine being in the engine going around this right-hand corner with nothing below you and looking out the window? Oh, I guess it's this way, right? On the screen. Okay. I think we can turn off the bell. We're doing okay so far. We're going to slow down a little bit for this corner. We don't want to get too much momentum going around that corner and shoving things, because that can be disastrous. We're going to do a little bit of brakes, just a little bit, because we don't want to gain too much speed, but we also don't want to be having that pushing against that angle either too much. There we go. Most of the weight's past that corner now, so I think we're good on that. Okay. Cool. That worked out okay. Then we just need to pick up our iron. This is a nice smooth. And our switch is correct. Okay. There we go. And I think, yeah, that's the one where you do the equal number of cars for each. 3 cars of beams and 3 cars of lumber, etc. Okay. We're going to do, whoops, that. I'm going to bring this one up. You just got to brake so far ahead of where you want to actually stop. Yeah, I think we've got enough iron for the rest of the game, but let's see here. Now let's see what happens if I hit the... It does! Oh, that's cool. Check that out. That's cool. You can double click on it too, you know what I mean? You double tap on the space bar. That's awesome. I can't complain about that. Oh man, especially on the ore things, because those are such a pain to get through. That's cool. Okay, so you just go... There we go. Why did the compressor... Oh, because I hit the brake, that's why. Yeah. Alright, and then one more. Because we're going to bring iron ore over to the iron mine as long as we're going that way. I think we do need to get more cord wood, but still, that's awesome. Okay. 8. Okay, so that's why. I think with the coal you can get the same amount on these, but that one gets more iron. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Did you hear that? It's echoey. Oh, I like that. That was cool. The little tower of... Yeah, that little tower of steam. That's cool. Alright. Alright, we're going to head up to the... We're going to head up to the... whatchamacallit over here. And I think we come in on this side. Smelter, he hardly knew her. Okay. Alright, and this is a big sweeping corner. I don't think we need to slow down for the giant sweeping corner. Although we can probably take it easy on the... Yeah, take it easy on the switch. At least till we get across that. There we go. Okay, now we can speed it up a little here. Yeah, it's a nice, fairly sweeping turn there. Okay, cool. I don't think we're going to try to get up to close to 30 or whatever, but we can at least do this. And then I do need to start looking at what else we need on the gold, what we can do on the gold, where we can get started on that and everything. I think it's the tools is what we needed. We need the tools to start on the gold. Alright, cool. And that's coming up quickly here. Pretty sure we got the correct side of this. Okay, we're gonna slow down on the regulator here. Slow down to 15. And those are the cordwood cars. Okay. Yeah, that's right. We're on the right side. Good. And then is this one already? Yeah, this one's already switched over too. Okay. And we've got room. Does he have oh, the headlights on. Okay. The lantern's on. And we just need iron this time. All right. Start gently braking. There we go. I think we're going slowly enough that we can just let it cruise. And then this one. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we do need to get the cordwood cars over there, and we got to figure out how to do that, but I think that's going to be it for this time. 42. Nice. That's going to be it for this time for episode 18. Join me in episode 19, and we're going to get the cordwood, and then we'll get our iron, our raw iron. We'll get the raw iron loaded up on here and all that. Let's see. Let's jump out here. Let's see what we've got for the raw iron. I think we had 32. Okay, I think we can only fit 3 of those on a car, because the rails you can fit 10. So we may or may not need to do more with that. We have more iron than we have cars, so I guess we will just load up the cars and go. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for 18. Join me in episode 19. We'll probably pull those cordwood cars at the end of it too, just to get everything lined up. To make it even longer car, but train. But yeah, anyway, that's me it for 18. Join me in episode 19, and we'll see you then. Later.